From the dead, here we are. Courage Pays Better Than Fear, season number 2, episode number
26.
It is Jeremy Ritz, one of your hosts, alongside
Special Eddie,
Edmund Fontana, and we are so thrilled, excited, grateful, pumped, amped, whatever word you want to plug in here, to be back with all of you. We hope to have this episode up last weekend, but a little delay does not mean a denial. We are here today, and little known fact, we did record an episode 26.
Yeah, and we lost it.
Year. We lost it. Gotta love technology. So,
which is always the problem. That's how it always happens.
Yep. But one day when we get like Joe Rogan status, with our podcast, that thing will be worth some cash. But yeah, we're super excited to be back here. And
actually, for any of you who are out there that understand technology, understand putting like a podcast room together, hit us up. We got lots of questions.
Yeah, please DM us.
You might even get a job.
True story. True story. But this is a special day for Edmund and I, and for all of you for joining us here today out there in the Courage Pays audience. But it is exactly one year to the date that we started this podcast.
Don't you love Facebook? Because I'm sure that's how it reminds you.
Oh, yeah, it came up this morning. And, very grateful for that. And today we're going to talk about what you can truly accomplish in 1 year. We're going to spend some time reflecting on what 2022 to 2023 created for us, the abundance, the gratitude that we have. And we're going to look ahead to the next year, what we're going to be working on. We want you to
look ahead.
Yeah, we want you to do the same. Something we're going to incorporate this year. There's going to be a call to action at the end of every episode, because you could watch this stuff. It's great. But if you're not taking action on what we're sharing, then it's pointless.
Yep.
And
the whole goal is to be able to share our experiences and hope that other people on the other side might be going through the same thing and could use some words of encouragement.
100%. And so, to kick things off here today, last season 1, we did the Furious 3. We're going to change it up a bit. We want to be more on the positive, uplifting, motivating, inspiring tip. So we have the Thankful 3 things you're grateful for. Mr. Fontana, you're up, sir.
I'm up. Man, I haven't heard Mr. Fontana in a long time.
Mr. Fontana.
They used to call me Mr. Fine Tanner. Remember that?
No, I think you made that shit up.
Them days are over with. Three things I am grateful for. One, just waking up this morning and being healthy, and my family's healthy, my children are healthy. That in itself is a true blessing and something that I'm very grateful for. Number 2, sticking to my workout routine, man.
Show everybody those guns, dude.
You see these
Let's
guns?
see these guns.
Look at it.
Yeah. Look at that.
Just kidding. He wants to see the 6-pack. So honestly, sticking to my workout routine, it's something that I would normally do for 3 months, 4 months, fall off, do another 3 months, maybe 2 months, and just could never stick to it. I've actually stuck to an entire year of working out. I was 189 pounds, and I am down to 165, which is a little too late for me, but I can tell you where that came from. 90 days coming up, very close to absolutely 0 alcohol.
And that's fantastic. I do want to interject about this man's workouts, because the growth that he had from 1 year ago till now.
Yes.
I remember some of those first ones, and there's a video out there. Maybe I'll put it in. So if there's a pause here.
Yeah.
How many times did you throw up when we were working out?
Oh, man. This boy had me doing all kinds of stuff. I would probably throw up 2, maybe 3 times per workout. Especially when legs came, right? I hated legs. It was terrible. I would puke almost every time.
Gotta love those squats.
Yeah, they suck.
All right, so bring it home. What's your third thing you're grateful for?
Third thing I am grateful for is just the sense of community that I have. I don't have, back in the day you had, 20 friends, right? I got 6 or 7 really close friends. He's not one of them.
I hate you, dude.
I know. And just having access to a community of people that, when you're going through something in life, or if you have a struggle that's you're currently dealing with, that you have someone or some people or a community to talk to, and just bounce ideas off of, bounce your thoughts off of, and just I'm just truly grateful to have really good friends in my life. There's not a ton of them, but there's a handful of them that I hold near and dear. Like I said, he's not one.
100%. And I think this is a perfect time. Let's just give a shout out to. I mean, we have a lot of people that are blessings in our life.
Yes, absolutely.
But let's just go through and just give some props. I know you can go ahead and get started.
I mean, my business partners, right? Michael Lush, Derek, Matt, like, those guys have been amazing, right? This year, although everything might look great on the outside, like, definitely have some struggles going on this year. And these guys have been patient with me. They've been checking in on me, just seeing how I'm doing. And I can't be more grateful to have friends like that. My boy, Jeremy Newsom, right? Jeremy Newsom, his wife, Yvette, she has been absolutely instrumental in helping me get through some difficult times, right? That I'm currently going through. And, I truly, truly want to thank those two for the classes and courses and stuff that they've put together to really help people just take life to the next level. So thank you, everybody out there. My boy Vito, my boy Paul, these guys have all been good people. My boy Jeremy, although I did say we weren't friends, we're brothers, right?
That's what it is.
That's brothers from another mother. All those people out there, man, have just been really important in my life.
And our family.
And our family.
Family and friends, moms, dads, cousins, brothers out there who are watching. Shout out to Casey, Holland, and Jason Zhang. They do the Real Deal podcast. They're going to be coming on here in a few weeks. I actually got a chance to be on their show. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to the RYD, RYM, RYE, Create Your Own Economy, Real Life Trading, all those communities. All the former students from Kennett who have reached out to me, and teachers and people that I work with. Love all of you. So just gratitude all the way around, man. 1 year ago. 1 year ago.
Yeah, 1 year.
And let's get into it.
Actually, there's one more person I got to thank because I know she's watching. And Mom, this is probably the most we've talked these past past 3 months. It's the most we've talked. I appreciate you. You have always been there for me, and you're still there no matter how much of a pain in the ass I am and have been.
And you are a pain in the ass, a big one. Yeah. So not speaking of pains in the asses, let's talk about our topic today is 1 year. So a lot of times we get lost in thinking about, all right, I got to get everything done today or this week. But the more important thing is zooming out, getting perspective and realizing that look at it from the range of 1 year, 365 days. And it was 1 year, like we said at the top of the show, that we started this podcast, and a lot of things have changed, evolved, took turns for the better for us.
Yeah.
We've shed some things along the way, but let's get into it. That shift in perspective, instead of 1 day, looking at it from a year, and talk about your past year.
Man, my past year, I mean, one of the biggest things that I wanted to focus on over this last year is just personal growth, right? Self-development. I even dedicated my Mondays to strictly self-development. So I don't really work much on Mondays, and I dedicated myself to what am I going to do to make myself better? Who can I talk to help me make myself better, right? And self-development was huge for me this year. I'm definitely making massive strides in that area of my life. But it also brings up a lot of things from, your past that you have to deal with. And it's part of the healing process. So self-development was huge for me. Sticking to my workout routine, that was huge. I mean, a year ago, like you said, if I could show you a picture of what I looked like a year ago versus
I'll see if I can flash that up on the screen right now.
I'm sure he'll find something. To what I look like now, right, and how I feel now internally. Just went to the doctors yesterday. Doctors was like, your numbers have never been better. You know, I got 90 days under my belt with no alcohol. That's something I've always been like thinking about doing. I'm fully committed. I'm giving it a full year just to see how much better my life becomes. And just being a better father, husband, friend, entrepreneur, business partner, all of those things over the last year, I've really focused on, and like it's paying dividends, right? I have all the right people in my corner. It doesn't matter what happens in my life. As long as my children are healthy, I will make it through anything.
So talk about this, Edmund. So, you know, the whole year concept. Like sometimes we get so caught up in the day to day, and I know that's something you and I talk about a lot.
Yeah, you get caught in your head with
right.
that.
What are some of the things that you do to, when you do get bogged down and think, man, I didn't get anything done today, or I'm struggling this week, or even this month? How do you force yourself to take that step back, get the 30,000 foot view, the global view, to remind yourself, hey, I've got time. Like I've got this full year ahead of me.
I'm an extrovert, so I talk. So
he does.
I'm a talker, man. Like, sometimes I'll get caught up in my head, and the only way for me to get it out and to get perspective is to talk to somebody like Jeremy, talk to someone like my business partners, talk to just close friends and family, and people really will point out, like, Edmund, where you were 6 months ago, where you were 1 year ago, where you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Are you kidding me? Like, you have come so far. And the best part about it is like your awareness of yourself in order to make changes in your life, right? And we'll talk about that. But I go to close friends and family when I'm struggling, and I talk, man. And a lot of the times I'll need reminders of how far I've come in my life, because I'll dwell on it in my head and be like, you're still not good enough. You still haven't achieved everything you want to achieve. And it can get you down, and it can put you in dark places, and that's not where you want to be. So if you're an extrovert out there, even if you're an introvert, try talking to a close friend or family member that truly knows you.
Yeah. So that extroversion piece of you, and that's where knowing yourself, which I feel like you've done a lot of work on, seeing who you were, like, some of the things that you needed to target and address, but knowing what works for you, because something that might work for an introvert, because dude is an extreme extrovert.
Yeah.
It's not, you got to find the right strategy for yourself. Tony Robbins often talks about strategy and whatever it is that we're working to accomplish. You've got to find that one that aligns with your values, how you operate, and having that community of close people is something that helps you keep that perspective. So that's very valuable. For me on the other side, the introvert that I am,
how do you do it? Because I know you're in your head all the time.
I'm in my head all the time.
You're an introvert, so like, how do you handle it?
So kind of the same thing, how Edmund has devoted his Mondays to self-development. It's being intentional with my time and setting aside time, planning, actually putting on my calendar, hey, this is a reflection day.
Nice.
Because I'll get caught up too, like, just chasing. Like, all right, I hit this goal, now it's on to the next.
Yeah.
Hit this goal, now it's on to the next, instead of stopping to say, will you just slow your ass down?
And enjoy.
Yeah.
And like, a lot of the times we'll hit the goals and we won't even celebrate it, right? Like, we'll be like, oh, we hit it, got to do something, what's next?
Yeah, so when I force myself to pause, to sit back, and to reflect, then I'm like, oh, and that doesn't mean I get complacent, but it just reminds me that, dude, you like let the progression happen gradually over time. Don't be in a rush. And we're both impatient.
Yeah, we're very impatient, and we both are control freaks.
Yes.
We love to try to control everything, and something I'm really working on is letting go of control, right? Letting go and just let things happen naturally, and stop trying to stop things before you think they're going to happen, or start things before you think they should happen, and just try to get through the day. Like Ed Milet says, one more day. Just one more day. Just get through the day. And if you can do that consecutively multiple times, it adds up to weeks, it adds up to months, it could potentially add up to years. And there you have it. You can make massive change in just 1 year's time.
So let's go back to this September 2023 to
now.
Or wait, September 2022 to 2023,
Yeah.
excuse me. What is that one thing that you've shed or you've let go of, or that is no longer part of who you are anymore, or that part that you're working on that was really holding you back, that you overcoming it or growing that area has put you to where you are now?
The traumatized punk little kid that I was, up until honestly about 6-7 months ago, right? We have 3 levels in us. We have the parent level, we have the adult level, and then we have the child level. And I realized throughout all these years, even in my relationship and even with my kids and even with like other people sometimes, like I've been operating on the little boy level, right? The little boy level that was letting his traumas, letting his past experiences, letting the neighborhood he grew up in, the music he listened to, all of that control my life. And it got to a point to where internally I recognized that this is controlling me in a very bad way. And it's going to have massive impacts on me, my wife, my children, my future, my businesses. If I don't heal this little boy and let him go and just let it be, right? He might pop up every now and again, but other than that, like 42 years old, like it's time to operate on the adult level and be a man. Right? And it took me a long time to realize that I wasn't being the man that I was needing to be for myself, for my wife, for my family. So that's what I let go over this last year. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of self-development. It was a lot of internal reflection. And it was a lot of talking to people, right? Because I would have never figured all that out if I didn't communicate with the communities that I have access to figure out, like, bro, why do you still do this? Why do you still do that? Why do you still do this? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, there is something to say about your childhood, maybe through parents or whatever, that when needs aren't met at a very young age, I don't care who you are, that shit will trickle with you all the way through your adult life. And at some point, it's going to come out.
Yeah.
And you got to let it out. You got to address it head on, and you can't be afraid of it. You just got to address it. So if you're out there and you're having those kind of issues, like, why am I still doing these certain behaviors? Why am I still treating people this way? Why am I still acting this way? You're going to have to dig deep, because the problem is not them. It is you. Just like I realized with a lot of my bullshit, the problem was me.
Yeah.
And honestly, I gave up drinking for 90 days, and I had the most mental clarity that I've had in a very long time. And guess what? Everything surfaces. Everything comes to the surface. Everything you thought was like alcohol related, it's not alcohol related. It's personality related. It's internal related is essentially what it is. And only thing alcohol does is, it just makes things that much worse, and or it doesn't allow you to see, like, okay, this is an internal thing. This isn't just drinking, right? This is trauma or something that I need to deal with as an adult if I want to grow and be a better person. So for those of you out there, man, that are struggling with that, get after it, talk to somebody, reach out to us. We could, we all have our own baggage, right? We all have it. So
the enemy is in me.
Yes, my boy Jeremy Newsom says it. The enemy is in me. And here's the thing. The enemy is always going to be in you. The enemy's not going to go anywhere, right? It's up to you to be able to identify the enemy, what that is, and shine your light on that darkness. Because if not, it will freaking win every time. It's a struggle. And you know what? It's for some of you out there, it might be a daily struggle for the rest of your life. But the point is to fight it. Fight it every day. And you'll win.
100%. 100%. So looking ahead, we've got this beautiful...
What about you, bro?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, what about you,
so
man?
my biggest thing I mentioned
See,
too...
it's not all about me all the time, right? I'm not selfish all the time, right? It's not all about Edmund. What about you, my brother?
The patience piece. So, and Edmund and I were talking about this yesterday. It's letting go and not beating myself up. So talking about like setting a goal, moving on to the next one. I've always had, and it's a blessing. I'm not going to say it's a blessing and a curse, and I accept it as part of me.
Yes.
But I'm always trying to do too much. Like I feel like if I'm not trying to run a 50-mile race and make X amount of dollars in the market and coach X number of students and be super dad and be super husband and this, that, and then I don't feel like I'm doing everything that I should be doing.
Yeah.
But what I've learned, when I try to do all that shit, I self-destruct.
He's got a therapy session with me.
I self-destruct.
He's like, bro, I'm doing it again. I'm like, I know you are.
So the thing that that has helped me is just removing the stuff that I don't need to have part of my life. Do I really, like I did the calendar club in January, do I need to really train for a 50-miler? Can I just do one thing a year? Can I slow it down to just one thing a year? Do I need to do X, Y, and Z? So just pulling back so that my energy is sharp for those 1, 2, 3 things that are most important, that has helped me to have just more intentional focus. And I'm not saying that I've arrived in that area, but I've gotten better, and that's something that I'm really doubling down on this next year.
Nice. So what's a strategy that you use to kind of help you go through, like, is it your calendar? Do you organize yourself more?
For me, I have to put it in my calendar. I have to schedule it. I have to plan it. And whenever I have time to sit and reflect and write and just be by myself, like I come out of that, like I'm good.
So you journal a lot? Do you journal?
I do journal a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. I journal a lot, and you know, different from you, the extrovert, I need that time to really just unpack my thoughts and how I'm feeling. And I find that whenever I do that and I get all my shit out on paper, I'm good.
Yeah.
But when I let shit build up and I'm trying to do too much, then I become
then you explode.
A freaking mess.
He's like, bro, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm like, the same thing you've been doing
for 42 years.
For 42 years.
Yeah, 100%. And that's it. I think to bring this all together is an easy way for you to start to identifying those things that are holding you back from that next level. They are the patterns.
Yes.
They are the trends.
Yes.
They are these things that you've done over and over and over again. And as you get older and become more self-aware, you know what they are. Like
you absolutely know what they are.
Someone out there listening right now is like, oh shit, like they're calling me out. Yeah.
Yes.
We're talking to you. What are those things? You got to know those things.
What are those things that keep coming back up that drive you absolutely crazy about yourself?
Right.
Right? That you like, okay, like this is driving me nuts. I let it go. It's back again. It's driving me nuts. I let it go. It's back again. That's what you got to work on.
There's your growth. That's what's holding you back from the next level. And here's the thing. We're not saying that we don't have that shit. No, we're telling you we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're being vulnerable and honest. Everybody has it. So if you're out there saying, well, I don't, bullshit, you have it too.
Like another one of mine is a racing mind. It's like OCD almost. Like I can't stop it. It will continue and continue and continue. And because of like a lot of the neighborhood I grew up in and all the bullshit I dealt with when I was younger, a lot of it's like negative stuff. And I gotta like work through those thoughts. So we all have that. We all have our own stuff that we got to deal with. So identify, what do we want to identify? 3 things.
Yeah, your patterns and trends.
Yeah.
And then start working on. We'd love to hear it in the comments below. We're letting you guys know what we struggle with. Let us know what you struggle with. Put that in the comments. And let's kind of shift this up.
Yeah.
I'm putting this out here for everybody who's watching this podcast. Ready? This is going to be the absolute freaking best year of your life, emotionally, financially, spiritually, physically, everything. this is going to be our best year.
Absolutely.
We're going to make it happen. That's going to be a theme throughout this year. It's going to be remarkable. So take that, believe that, internalize that, and let this be the start of creating that freaking just energetic, electric
killer year.
Yeah. Right? All right, man. I think
that sums it up. We did it, right?
We did, bro.
I know we took a break for a hot minute there, which we all need. Like we said, we need to break. The summer occurred, all that, but we are back.
Just want to give a reminder to anybody out there who wants to learn how to trade the stock market. The Replace Your Dollar Bootcamp 3.0 is coming up September 25th through the 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll put the link in the show notes. Go ahead and register, sign up. It's absolutely free. I'm going to teach you the essentials, the basics, the fundamentals of learning how to trade the stock market. And you have the opportunity to win a $100,000 funded account and a $50,000 funded account. Free money if you want to trade. Sign up. You're stupid if you don't. Anything you want to?
Yeah, so Replace Your Employer, which is all about real estate. And kudos to you. My man might be picking up his first 2 properties with his boy here and my boy Corey. There's a million and one ways to get involved in real estate. Like everyone thinks of the traditional way where you got to use your own capital and all of this. We have so many creative ways at Replace Your Employer to show you how to get involved in real estate. Right? We have a free opportunity for anyone that has been interested in real estate, wants to learn how to replace their employer or continue your current job, because some people love their W-2 jobs and they're important, right? We absolutely need people in our life like teachers and nurses, doctors, all that, right? Like you don't have to, but if you want to make real estate part of your life, click the link below, schedule a free discovery call with me. I open up the entire program to you for free for an entire week to see if real estate is something that you want to do. So if you're interested, click that link below. What? Smash the subscribe.
Smash the subscribe button. Let's grow that subscriber number. It's pumping, and we're gonna take it. So I think we're at like almost 200.
Nice.
A goal for us. We're gonna hit. Let's go for 5,000 by next year this time. Because this is going to be the amazing, remarkable year.
So in order to do that, right? So in order for us to do that, we need influencers. Yeah. So people that are out there that have, their own podcast or their own group of influencers that, just want to share positivity in the world and just are really out there to like help others. It doesn't need to be someone where you're selling a product or this, that, the other. We just want to help people by sharing our experiences. And if you're one of those individuals out there and you've heard of us, or if you know of other people, drop their names or whatever in the links below so we can reach out, their contact information.
Or if you want to be on a show, reach out. We'd love to have. We want to get more guests on here. We are going to have Casey and Jason on here before too long. We'll get Jay Money back on here. I want to get Michael on the show. I know he's busy.
We'll get Lush on here.
So
and also, if we've helped you in any way, shape, or form, please, we want to hear about it. Also leave that in the comments section. It's just good to know that, what we're doing is actually helping people. A lot of the times, like teachers help people all the time. They don't always know exactly who they're helping and what they're doing. So their recognition doesn't really come until years later. Yeah. And that's hard on a teacher, right? We want to know as soon as we possibly can, have we helped you, and what can we do to help you?
100%. And shout out to all the teachers and principals
Absolutely.
out there.
You guys are all back in school. Teachers, you have one of the most important jobs in the world. Administrators, you have one of the most important jobs in the world. You're educating our youth.
But I'm glad we're sitting in this.
I'm glad we're sitting in this treehouse. Yeah.
And with that is going to do it for season number 2, the kickoff episode number 26. We will see you back here next week for number 27, because courage
pays better than fear.
Take care, everybody.
Peace.